Well, we will call the March 21st Park Board meeting to order, and we will have a roll call to determine if we have a quorum.
Barry,
Here.
Steve,
Here.
Brad,
Here.
Corey is absent, Shanda is absent, and David is absent.
Well, there is four of us. We will proceed. Start with the approval of minutes from the February 21st. I'll entertain a motion to approve, and when you're ready.
Move to approve the minutes.
Can I get a second?
Second.
Okay. Any discussion of the minutes? Roll call vote.
Barry,
Yes.
Steve,
Yes.
Brad,
Yes.
Bo,
Yes. Okay, financials.
But otherwise, the only other thing is we have received three oil checks. They are, normally the last year we were really hovering around that $9,000 a month. All three of the checks this year so far have been more in that $6,000 a month. So hopefully we'll see an uptick here soon. Otherwise, that's all I got.
Okay, any questions from the board on financials? I guess we'll move into discussion items, Blacktail Dam grazing lease.
hi. We have a grazing lease with Nevin Sorensen for Section 16 Northwest. It's approximately 40 acres, more or less. And so I'm wondering, and I know the master plan is coming up, but I'm wondering if you guys want to leave the lease as it is, which is year to year, and we sign it every year and whatever, or if you want to have it auto-renew, or if we want to do it like for 5 years, like the state lease does, or if we want to change our price. Right now, the price for the state leases are $7.40, and we charge $7.97 an acre. So, and then I need a motion to authorize the chairman to sign.
I guess I would say we just leave it year to year for now, but I guess it's see what everybody else thinks. And price is fine.
I'd make a motion to accept as Beth has presented and authorize the chairman to sign.
Okay, is there a second?
I second.
Thank you, Brad. Any discussion? Roll call vote.
May I ask a question? Are you wanting to accept as presented being in the year-to-year lease?
Yeah,
Yes.
that's how I.
Okay. Thank you. Steve?
Yes.
Brad?
Yes.
Did he say yes? Bo?
Yes.
Barry?
Yes.
Okay. Parks updates.
All right, starting with Blacktail. Last month we did talk about a couple things, we did talk about the testing of the water at Blacktail and who was paying for that. They did find, I talked to the Soil Conservation District, and they have a volunteer at Blacktail that just does it for them. They originally went through the association, and I think that it was like put on too many different people, like, hey, we'll do it. And then they just found someone else, and one guy, Ron Raymond, has just volunteered and does it for them. So so there's no expense to that. Other things at there, we did hear back from Game and Fish, and they are against us using the top of the dam as a trail. I pushed hard back and a little hard back, trying to say, hey, give them some options and whatever. Their belief is that dam safety doesn't allow it. and they're pretty stuck in their ways. So we'll just have to go an alternative route, and we'll get that worked up. It would have been nice to sit on top and see the lake from up there on the view as part of the trail, but is what it is. What can we do? The other thing that's kind of an interesting thing in regards to Blacktail Dam, I've been working and getting to know the Soil Conservation District better. Went to one of their educational sessions a couple weeks ago, and from a spill that happened a few years ago up there, a saltwater spill, I believe. There was a settlement with the oil company, and the state received quite a bit of money, and they're looking at ways to funnel that money back into the area. And they are starting with giving them $1 million to improve the water quality in the Little Muddy watershed. And they're giving it to the Soil Conservation District to decide what to do with that money. And so they've been in communications with me. Obviously, Blacktail Dam is a big part of the Little Muddy reservoir up there. Two stipulations they have to find they have to improve 2 fishing accesses somewhere on the Little Muddy, in the Little Muddy watershed. Otherwise, they're going to have, like I said, $1 million, and that's to landowners, to whatever they can do to improve the water quality of the Little Muddy. So really neat project, that really neat opportunity that the Water Conservation District has. And the other thing for them, it was $1 million to start. This was a big settlement, and I think there's more money there. My understanding was if the soil conservation does well and the landowners do well and they use this money appropriately and wisely, that there's opportunities for them to continue that. So kind of a really neat thing they got going on. So hopefully I can work with them a little bit. And
Is Springbrook a part of the watershed?
no, it's not.
Oh, that goes directly into the Missouri.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, it just kind of cuts off right there. So we don't get to access those funds, but we'll touch on that a little later. So anyway, so kind of a neat thing they got going on, and just I'm a small part of, but I'm pretty sure they're gonna, there's also gonna be improvements that they want to do at Blacktail. And different interesting things too, right? Like taking some time to do the right thing. One of the topics that keeps coming up is something that's happened that was presented a while ago, and looking at potentially doing a series of like filter dams above Blacktail to kind of clean the water out a little before it gets to Blacktail, or do a series of little reservoirs with dams on the way before. So different, it was a good meeting I went to where there were some landowners from that area, and they're planning on having more of them, but really looking for creative ideas to how to improve the water quality. So neat thing to be part of. Like I said, I'm just a little part of it, but kind of a neat thing. And then I did reach out to WSB to get to look at pricing for design of the trail at Blacktail. I really think their pricing came back pretty high, but I don't know. I'm gonna look at getting pricing. I'm gonna get pricing from someone else, because and maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm just wrong. But I also just need to get pricing for someone else, find out what's actually necessary to get it done. Otherwise, I think that's it for Blacktail. Epping Springbrook, again, working mostly a lot of it on the water quality there. Actually been reaching out with Ducks Unlimited. They're a fantastic resource for water quality. They have a huge part of what they do is that. So they kind of helping me out too. We're going to sometime before too long this year, we're going to put out a mailer, or put together a mailer, mail it out to every landowner in the Epping Watershed District, and it's going to be more of a Epping Springbrook Watershed. It's going to be more of an educational thing. Hey, this is where this lake is. This is what causes it. Here's some fixes. Here's opportunities to potentially receive money for your property to do these things, and just educate people and start somewhere. Also working with the Department of DEQ and the Soil Conservation District. I did talk to Game and Fish as far as looking for someone. I've talked to both Nick Johnson at the Bible camp and Game and Fish as far as finding someone to test the water. Game and Fish has agreed that once the water gets open, they've agreed that every Monday as needed, they'll volunteer their boats to go test the water for us. Game and Fish. So they've said, you know, unless something comes up, they have to do the test twice a month. But Game and Fish said Mondays are a good day for them. They've got boats. They'd be willing to take the Soil Conservation District person out and get those water tests done. So that's good. I don't think we did reserve a little money if something comes up where they can't. Nick was going to help me talk to some of the people he has good relationships with out there, some locals, and see if we get in a bind with Game and Fish, we have a backup plan ready to go. We don't want to miss one of those water tests. So feel like we're in a good spot there. Little Egypt, I did submit our annual management plan to the Army Corps of Engineers. Not a lot new for this year. We talked about adding connecting to rural water. I put in there connecting to rural water. Otherwise, everything else was planting trees, finishing up last year's annual management plan, which was making every site a pull-through. We've actually already cut down all the trees, and we've probably put gravel in 70% of them. But finishing that up, making every site pull-through, and that's really it. Otherwise, general maintenance. And then the other thing we did, I did apply for the Land and Water Conservation Fund grant. It is a grant where it's, I think, it's a 50-50 grant. Maximum payout, I think, is $1 million. And so I applied for a shower house and a restroom. Now that we'll be, and that would be the company I looked at. I got a pricing from a company called Public Restroom Company, and that's one we used here in Wilson at Parks and Rec. Some of the newer restrooms in the bathrooms in the parks are from them. They're a company based out of Nevada. But they priced out a shower house with 4 showers and 4 bathroom stalls for turnkey. We'd have to do the dirt work, and then we'd have to do the dirt work. But other than that, turnkey, they priced it out at $690,000. So I applied for that grant. We'll find out in the next month or so about it. The Public Restroom Company. So they quoted it at $690,000, just to help me get some pricing for this grant. So we'll see how it goes. Hopefully we get it. I have already talked to the people that run the grant. Bathrooms are one of the big things they do. They base it on the SCORP, which is the outdoor the state recreation plan. And the number one thing out here is camping outdoor, and then restrooms with running water. So they rate really high on those. So feel really good about it, but you never know. Those other people make those decisions. Lookout Park, I haven't made any progress on that, but we're gonna get it done this spring. McGregor, nothing new to report. And Coda Ray, I'm working with the Department of Environmental Quality, Dam Safety. There is, they can't get the valve on the bottom of the dam open. So it's not a huge deal. They typically, the main reason they open it is they've got an agreement with the landowner down below to feed it, to water his cattle a little bit. I mean, obviously I need it open for safety reasons in the future, but right now there's something malfunctioning with it, and I'm working with them. They'd be the one that fix it, pay for it, everything, but we still need to get it done. And I guess that's, one other thing, just for the good of the order, not under parks update, we are moving forward with our concerts in the parks. Working with Dee James again. She has, I think, booked 4 of our parks already. So I think we got a good schedule. A lot of our events are right around the 4th of July. But that was, we're Friday night of Buffalo Trails Days, like Buffalo Trails Days is Saturday and Sunday. So we're gonna do our concert in Epping on Friday night of that. I think the weekend of the 4th, we have 2 concerts just because it's the weekend of the 4th, good times. And then 2 later in August. Otherwise, I think that's it.
Okay. Anybody have any questions for Jeremy on parks?
Yeah. What, did we ever get an answer back on the cultural study for Blacktail Loop?
What question is that? We have hired a firm. We're doing Beaver Creek. They are good to go, but they have to wait till all of the snow is gone.
Okay.
Yep, as soon as all the snow, and we are first on their list. They know we want that done soon, and, yeah, as soon as the snow's gone, they'll be here.
And that is part of the design of the walking trail will have to be changed possibly due to results from that. And now, those results would come back probably midsummer. At least a month, 30 days after they've done their, okay. All right, I'm just kind of figuring out a timeline here. But the other thing was, we had, talked about the speed bumps. Have you looked into any more on the cost and what they will take?
I did order 12 10-foot sections of speed bumps. So that would be like, right now, the way we used them through the campground park, we used 2 10-foot sections of each. So we had, I don't remember if we had 4 or 5 of those, but like I said, I ordered 12, so we'd be able to set up 6 more around the loop. I do have some other, I probably have 4 8-foot sections that are a little bit different than the ones I used, that if I needed to, I could use those too. But I plan on, my intention was to have those in place before Memorial Day.
Okay. And the last item was, is there anything new on the ice fishing ramp out at Little Egypt,
In regards to what?
constructing it?
Oh, the ice fishing access, it's already there, it's
Yeah.
used. Yep, it's open and used, it's very popular, used all the time.
Okay.
We keep it open, it's been one of the things that Carter has kind of had to keep open, plowing or moving snow with, because it's on that far east end and it sits down in a hole. Whenever we get any snow, when you come into the park, when you first come into Little Egypt and it divides, anytime we get a decent amount of snow, you can't go to the left. Until Dennis gets down there and his crew gets down there and clear it. The snow pile blows in up against those trees, and it's always drifted in on that road. So you have to go to the right and you go all the way around, and then it usually stays pretty clear until you start to go down at the very bottom. And so Carter has done a great job this winter staying on top of that to keep that open. We've had a lot of people out there. I think at one point, I counted well over 20 houses just right out from our access. And so there's a lot of people there, and Carter did a good job of keeping the snow cleared so people could get in and out.
Good. Good to hear. Okay.
I don't know about you guys. I was blown away this year by how many people ice fished. There were more ice houses out at Tobacco Gardens, at Chris Cove, down at Audubon. I saw more fish houses this year than I've ever seen, so I'm excited that people are getting out and using it, because it is, I mean, we want to recreate in the winter, but sometimes it's tough with those wind. I think cross-country skiing and ice fishing are the 2 best options. For now, yeah.
What's the company you have for Blacktail that's doing it?
That did that design, WSB, they're the same one that did our master
Yeah,
plan.
but you said Beaver Creek.
Oh, Beaver Creek is doing the cultural study, Beaver Creek Archaeology, I think it's called.
Yes.
Yep.
Have you ever had any luck getting a hold of Dallas Nelson with regards to that land, or?
I guess I haven't tried recently, but I can reach out again. We talked before, and he was, I think the interesting thing is he wasn't against like maybe that land, that piece of land but we need something else right there too. And ideally, it'd be where he has his shop and farm there, because we need somewhere to park, we need somewhere to build something flat too. They do have, I think this is the smaller of his two farms. I think he has a much bigger farm south side of the lake. I do know that the study that Lindsay's doing, we're including the winter, a potential winter resort or winter activities in that. But I have no problem reaching out to him before. He was a little difficult to get a hold of, but then once I got a hold of him, he was pretty frank and easy person to talk to. So I can call him again and get a hold of him and just tell him that, hey, we're still interested here.
Thank you.
It is located just west of Lewis and Clark State Park? Is it just west?
Yeah, you go down the valley, up the hill, and then hang a right. That's really descriptive, I know. But
Yeah, it's not that easy to find, but you can get there. Yep. Yeah, like I said, he was easy to talk to once I got hold of him, and I mean, like I said, pretty frank, honest guy, so.
Okay, any other questions for Jeremy? Looks like I have the next meeting for April 18th. Same time, same place. Before we adjourn, congratulations to Jeremy on his upcoming wedding nuptials.
Thanks. Yes,
So-
exciting. We fly out today at 12:30.
Nice. Well, we can't find anything else to talk about for 2 more hours to make you sweat. Well, thanks, everybody. We'll adjourn this meeting at 9:23.
Thanks. Thank you.